A mom tried to dump her toddler on me at the park, and lost her mind when I refused. I 27F was sitting alone at the park on my lunch break, just eating a sandwich and enjoying the weather. I go there a few times a week because it's close to my job and it's usually peaceful. Kids run around, parents chat on benches, dogs bark in the distance, nothing dramatic. That day, though, a woman I'd never seen before walked right up to me with her toddler on her hip. She barely said hello before announcing she needed to run a quick errand and that I looked responsible enough to watch her kid. I honestly thought she was joking at first, so I just kind of laughed. But she wasn't smiling. She set her toddler down next to me and literally started walking toward the parking lot like we'd agreed on something. I immediately stood up and said, "I'm not watching your child." She spun around and acted like I'd hit her. She said, "It'll be 10 minutes, you're literally just sitting there. You don't even look busy." I explained again that I couldn't watch her kid, especially someone I'd never met, and she started getting louder. She accused me of lacking compassion and said young people don't care about community anymore. The toddler, by the way, was completely oblivious and climbing onto the bench like this was totally normal. I repeated, more firmly, that she needed to stay with her child. She stumped back over, scooped him up, and huffed so loudly the nearby parents turned to stare. She said I'd ruined her entire day and asked what kind of woman refuses to help a struggling mother. She emphasized struggling mother like she was hoping to guilt-trip me into apologizing. I didn't. She stormed off to another bench, muttering under her breath. I thought that was the end of it. But less than 5 minutes later, another mom sitting nearby leaned over and quietly said, "Don't feel bad." She tries that on someone new almost every day. I blinked because that made zero sense. She explained that the woman regularly drops her kid off at the park and then attempts to pawn him off on random adults so she can go shopping or run errands. Apparently she's been warned by the park staff multiple times, but she just finds new people to target so she can slip away unnoticed. Sometimes she succeeds for a few minutes before someone realizes they've been tricked into babysitting a stranger's child. Just hearing that made my stomach flip. The toddler was maybe 2 years old. Anything could happen in 10 minutes. He could wander into traffic, fall off equipment, be approached by someone dangerous, and she was ready to trust any random face just because they happened to be sitting still. And worse, she was willing to shame people who didn't comply, as if refusing to take responsibility for someone else's child made them the problem. When she finally left the park with her son, she glared at me like I personally ensured she'd never accomplish anything in her life. I considered telling her I'm not a babysitter, not an employee, and not responsible for her unrealistic expectations, but she clearly wasn't interested in logic. As she walked away, the other mom added, "One of these days someone is going to call the police." She thinks she's being clever, but it's dangerous. I've been thinking about it ever since. Not just the entitlement, but the genuine risk. Handing your kid to a stranger because you don't feel like parenting for an hour isn't community. It's careless. It's unsafe. And the fact that she weaponizes guilt every time someone refuses makes it even more outrageous. So yes, apparently I ruined her day. But honestly? I think the person she's truly ruining things for is her own child.